Hey guys, today we're back with another gun review, and today we have the Glock Gen 3 versus Glock Gen 4 versus Glock Gen 5. Stay tuned for this one. Alright, hey guys, we're back. Starting out, we'll go as they was produced. You have the Glock 17 Gen 3 that was produced in 1998, the Glock Gen 4, which was produced in 2010, started production, and Glock Gen 5, which started in August of 2017, the newest one. All these guns are pretty much exactly the same. On face value, none of them really did change much. The Glock 17 Gen 3 was the first one to actually use finger grooves, if I'm not mistaken. It might have been Gen 2, actually thinking about it, but this was the first one I know that used actual accessory rail on it. Every single one of these still have accessory rails. The Glock 17 Gen 3 versus the Gen 4, nothing much really changed. And yes, this is a Gen 4. This was one of the special edition Gen 4s with front cock serrations and metal sights. But besides that, it's still a Gen 4. Getting back to it, there wasn't really much of a jump between the Gen 3s and the Gen 4s. Besides, with the Gen 4s, you can now put a back strap on it to match your hand a little bit better. And the stippling, or the grip was a little bit more catchy to your hand. I really did enjoy the Gen 4s a lot. The Gen 4 and Gen 5s have the exact same stippling on their grips and everything, but the Gen 5s now don't have any finger grooves as the Gen 4s did. And once again, all guns are safety checked before filming. The Gen 5 has now got a front bevel for helping enter and exit a holster, while the Gen 17, or Glock 17 Gen 4 and Gen 3 was all just blocky, I guess you would say. Going to the barrels, before I forget, the Glock 17 Gen 3 and Gen 4's barrels was pretty much exactly the same. But in the new Gen 5s, they put a new thing in them called the marksman barrel, whatever. It's a lot better rifling, I guess is what they said, and you can now have a 4-inch group at 50 yards. So that's I think it's match grade. So that's pretty good for a $600, $500 pistol. All of them feel the exact same. Besides the 17 and the Gen 3 Glock, or the 15 and the 5 and the 3. The 3 feels a little bit more thicker in the hand, but I believe it's just because of the aftermarket Talon grip that's on it. But besides that, there's really no difference. All of them still have the Glock trigger that's known pretty worldwide for. I feel like this one might be a little bit better, the Gen 5. I feel it might be, it might not be. But something else that was different with the Gen 5 is that it now has a beveled bottom slide, so you can make mags go easier in and out. And the front of it now also has a cutout, which some of the Gen 4s and Gen 3s did, but neither of these do. So you can easily grab the mag when it comes out if it ever gets stuck. All of them come with 17-round mags, so nothing changed there. They didn't add any more or take away any more with the Gen 5s. The Gen 3 only come with 2 17-round mags, while the Gen 4 and the Gen 5 come with 3 17-round mags. But all of the mags that come with these guns had a black feed ramp in them. Or not feed ramp, but a follower, I guess you'd say. While the new Gen 5s has an orange one. They're all about around the same price whenever they come out, about $539 new. The Gen 5 Glocks are now $600 new for some reason, $579, $600. I don't know why they had a little increase. Let's see here. Oh yeah, something else that's pretty interesting is that now the Gen 5 has ambi slide release. So lefties, this gun is for you. Whenever the Gen 4 and Gen 3 did not have a ambidextrous slide release. Let's see here. Anything else before we close. Oh yeah. The Gen 5s have the dual recoil spring. The Gen 4s also have the dual recoil spring. If I can get this right. There we go. While the Gen 3s have the single recoil spring. Some people say they can tell the difference between them, others say they can't. Personally, I think I can. I can feel like the 17 helps it a lot, or the dual recoil spring helps it a lot better. And for a lot of y'all people that didn't know, the 17, the Gen 4s, whenever they first come out with the dual recoil spring, they was actually having a lot of problems with them. A lot of, like the guns was somewhat busting on the inside of them, and some of them was breaking, but now they got it all figured out, thankfully. But let's see, here's something else. The Gen 3s had a different coating on the slide than the Gen 4s, and the Gen 4s and the Gen 5s also both have the same coating on the slides, and looks to me like they handle pretty well, so that's pretty good. All three of these guns are made in Austria, but I think they make the Gen 3s and Gen 4s now in USA, and I think some of the Gen 5s, I don't know yet if they're being made in USA or not. Only time will tell. But trying to run through if I have left anything major out. All of them are pretty much the same as any other Glock was. There's not any bit of difference within how they actually shoot and everything, and pointability of them. The sights are all still the same. So if you're out there looking for a Glock to see which one's right for you, just pick them up and feel which ones. If your hands match the finger grooves, which mine do, Gen 4 still feels really good in my hand, but without the finger grooves, I think that matches me a little bit better. I feel like I can get a better grip on it. But just go to your local gun store. They might not have these anymore. They might not have the Gen 3s. It's starting to get a little bit harder to find, I guess you'd say. Maybe not, but if you do find them, they're pretty cheap. It should be around $400. Oh yeah, something else real quick I just seen. The Gen 4s and Gen 5s have a larger slide or a larger mag release, whenever the Gen 3s have a smaller one. So that might help any bit. But yeah, there's probably going to be about around $50 to $75 difference in between each of these guns going up. So Gen 3 will be the cheapest, Gen 4, then Gen 5 because it's the newest. Is the Gen 5 worth the extra money? If you like it, it is. Personally, I think that they kicked the Gen 4s out the window pretty quick. I mean, like you've seen, they started production on the 17 in '98, and they released these in 2010, the Gen 4s. So what is that? 12 years. Now they released the Gen 5s in 2017. So what is that? I mean, 7 years. I think that they should have stayed a little bit more with the 4s than going to the 5s. I feel like it was kind of rushed. But overall, they're all three killer guns, so it ends up being on you who makes the final decision. But thank you for watching the video. If y'all have any questions or comments in the space, just leave them in the space below, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you for viewing this video, and I will see you all in the next one.